Welcome back, Five Tribe. If you have ever written a text 3 times over and kept editing it, or you have reorganized the dishwasher after somebody else has put all the food, the dishes in, or you have tried to schedule a spontaneous hangout, this one's for you. This episode is called How to Stop Being a Control Freak, and it might resonate with one or two of your hosts today. I'm Andrew. With me always is Kat. How are you doing,
Oh,
Kat?
I don't know who you're talking about. It's so weird.
Definitely not us. We're not control freaks. I feel that uncomfortable silence coming on. So, I mean, let's just come out with it. What is you label yourself a control freak? I know I do too. I think a lot of people do, especially in these crazy times. Is what is being a control freak to you?
Yeah, of course. We want to start the podcast by offering a lot of grace and love to those listening. And of course, like so many labels, control freak has this negative connotation to it. And I will say both of us are recovering control freaks, recovering. I always say I'm a recovering perfectionist. I'm really, really leaning into like letting life flow. But the truth is, and if no one's ever told you, is that if you feel the need to control a lot of situations, it could be rooted in anxiety. When you think about it, if you know ahead of time how everything's going to happen, then you don't have to worry about it going a different way. And that's why a lot of people try to hyper control situations. They want to feel secure and safe in the knowledge that it's going to go the way they want.
Yeah, it's very true that when we have gone through hard times, it's human nature to try to control everything around us just for the sake of trying to restore calm to our lives. So it's not, like the like, why does control freak sound so bad? It's like, it's the freak part. It's not control kind person, it's control freak. And that kind of makes us sound like, this is not a good thing. But it's really a nervous system that is just trying to anticipate every possible variable. And it's not always, you can't always do it. It's just, you can't. But we tend to take a lot of comfort in the fact that if we do try to control everything, we'll feel better.
I agree. And we've said this so many times on the podcast before, and it kind of rocks your world when you realize that nothing is controllable. It's all a mirage. The idea that we can set up a fixed outcome in this world is ludicrous. We create patterns, we create habits. We wake up at the same time and we go to work and we make our kids lunches and we do all these things. But that's because we've inserted patterns into an otherwise chaotic universe. And because we're people walking around, there's a lot of anxiety about that. And so
Yeah.
I don't know. The best examples I can think of, Andrew, is like I think of like really high-end wedding planners who are trying to control like every single detail, but like you can't help it if like a bird swoops in and like eats the cake or whatever. I don't know where I got that from, but
Yeah.
they just,
It's a great visual though.
you can plan everything perfectly. You can be the most organized person on the planet. But the truth is that, once it goes out there into the world, there's so many variables that could happen that we don't have control over.
Yeah. And again, it's just, we're trying to protect ourselves from the dangers that come. So it's not bad. It's kind of funny when you said that. I know this is going to jump forward a little bit, but every good movie that I can think of, like with those wedding planners, it's always the same thing, right? It's they're stressed out, they're stressed out, trying to control every little thing. And then finally the catharsis comes at the end when they just let go and they just enjoy, the cake fight and everything else that
Yeah.
kind of happens.
Dancing
And
in
we
the
go to
rain, falling in the pool in your wedding dress or whatever, like, that's the movie moment is when control is lost.
Exactly. And it's those moments that we enjoy because we recognize the humanity in all of us that tries to give ourselves this perfect moment, this perfect day, and then have to back off and just kind of let go and go, like what's going to happen is going to happen. And so I think we can kind of dive into it, but that's the psychology of it. It's like it gives us peace to feel like we have control. And even when you say this to me all the time, it's like the illusion of control. And I have a hard time with that. Like, I know it. I've gone through enough stuff that I know that this is not, I have no control, but I still need it.
You still want it, but I want it. I
Yeah.
wanna have it. Well, I think you bring up a good point, and something I really want to address is that as somebody who used to be a lot more tightly wound than I am now, I don't think people realize the hidden costs of being the control freak, which we use that term with so much love because that's a colloquial term and kindness and empathy towards our listeners. But you described it just now. You said the wedding planner, they're stressed, they're running around frenzied, they're doing this, and then they let go. Trying to be in control and trying to control outcomes creates a significant amount of stress in the body. And we don't even have to say something as big as a wedding. I've had friends of mine um, be so stressed over planning like a one-year-old's birthday party, or
Oh my gosh.
so stressed that they're about what their child is wearing to high school or something like that. And it's because we worry and we want to make sure our kids are safe. And we want to make sure our kids have good memories. And we want to make sure that this big trip that we planned, that no one gets sick on it or whatever it is, right? But it causes so much stress for that person, and it's not good for you.
No, and it really does wear on you. I mean, we're talking about the hidden cost of being a control person. We'll try to
Oh, yeah, that's
not
good.
for
It's good, it's
right,
good,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
good, it's good.
yeah, a control person.
You're
Listeners,
not
this
a
is
freak, you're sweet.
I know I'm a weirdo, but freak, come on, a control weirdo. Does that can we get that into the vernacular?
You're
But
my
yeah,
weirdo.
there you go. Lucky you.
I am very lucky. Go on.
Thanks. I think it's just the mental exhaustion that comes from trying to predict every single thing that can happen. And it is so challenging at any moment to be like, okay, this can happen, this can happen, this can happen. And you're like, okay. And then you think of it's not just thinking of everything that can happen, it's thinking to the reaction of everything that can happen and what's going to happen after that. And you end up with so much stress and high blood pressure and all the negative things that come from this type of stress that it can be really debilitating. It can cause you to stop doing things because it's just too overwhelming.
Yeah. We both read Mel Robbins' book recently, the one that came out this year, The Let Them Theory. And one of the things that she points out when we try to control other people, control their outcomes, their words, and their actions, is it can be really damaging to interpersonal relationships as well. In the book, she talks about a friend of hers who is loving and worried and concerned about her husband who won't work out, who won't get healthy, who won't take a walk. And her friend, like, bent over backwards, did everything. They signed up for all the things, offered to do all the things, bought all the workout clothes and all the gear, and he won't do it. And I'm sure there's a lot of people listening that are like, yep, 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 know that, know that. And the point that Mel makes in the book is that you have to let them do what they want to do because it is impossible for one adult to control another adult's actions. And the act of trying to, and the act of nagging, and the act of trying to force someone to your will, it can really harm your marriage, your friendship, your relationship with children and other extended family members. We cannot make another person do something that we want them to do. And it's a really freeing concept. I think that's why her book has done so well. Very difficult one, but what she's saying is you have to let go of the control.
Yeah. And yeah, if you have teenagers, if you have had kids, you know that there's an early age where you need to kind of control them to keep them safe. And then as you let go of that control, it's very challenging. And that is a big thing. But yeah, trying to control anybody, I mean, it's just not going to work. It might suit your short term needs, but it doesn't serve you long term. And I think that's really the big distinction as well. We're trying to control every little moment in front of us. We don't think about the long term of it and what that might have as an impact on the people we care about.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to someone who's listening to this and they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's me." You know? Well, because it does make the people around you sometimes it makes them kinda miserable, like, "Oh, if we don't do exactly what mom says, then, this or this is gonna happen." So I think all of us hope for homes and relationships and experiences that are peaceful and calm and lovely and spontaneous, but if somebody is sort of deeply entrenched in this from fear and anxiety, like, it seems like such a big jump to go from, like, "Okay, I'm cool spontaneous mom now. You guys just
Well,
go run through some sprinklers. Look at me being so cool and spontaneous and chill and not controlling." How would you advise someone to go from one to the other?
I think you have to start small. I think the first step is awareness and to go, I am trying to, it always starts with awareness, but to look at things and go, I am trying to control everything in this moment and it's not serving me or the people around me. And in those moments, the step one is to identify what's actually yours. What do you
Mm,
actually have control over? And it's not the kids and their reactions. It's not the spouse. It's not the friends. It's not the employer. You have control over your thoughts and your own actions. Even your thoughts, you don't always have control over, right? I
that's
mean,
true.
like,
Ain't that the truth?
so,
Preach.
and I think that's part of it is like, so you
Yeah.
just kind of, we're not asking you, we're not saying let go a million ways. It's just kind of looking at it and going, what's my responsibility in this? Okay. So, step one, I'm looking at things. I'm like, I am watching my kids go through the sprinkler and I am having every possible thought about what could happen, how they could get hurt and the bad things that can happen. But I'm just here on the lawn chair watching them. My job right now, my responsibility is to watch and to observe and to respond in that moment, not to try to say like, don't jump too high and don't run too fast and all those things. Just to sit back in the chair, watch them and go, okay, my job is to just observe in this moment and just observe yourself because you're going to have a lot of stuff that comes up. We are not talking about, making monumental changes in one day. We're just bringing that awareness in.
Yeah. Noticing that anxiety too, and if you can tell yourself, "I wanna control the situation because I wanna feel safe, and I really love this person, and I really want my kids to have a good time at Disney World, and I really, really want my spouse to get healthy," or whatever it is, because I love them, but I can only control me and my actions and my thoughts and changing my thoughts. So, the awareness, the noticing, the anxiety is never gonna go away. If you're somebody who's prone to this, it's gonna kick in. It's just up to us to say, "Oh, there's me trying to do that thing, but this is why I'm doing it. I want to feel safe." And if you can give yourself that self-compassion, it really helps with the letting go part afterwards.
It really does. So I think the next step is to just kind of look at it and replace that control with structure. Like we're talking about the trip, right? Or that's a great example.
Yes.
You can plan the best Disney trip, which is what I think everybody's kind of mind goes to,
Yeah.
or, replace whatever. I use Disney because Disney's just like parents bet so much on a single day and you have no control after you put that deposit down. You could be in a bad weather. It could be kids could be sick. Your flights could get delayed. There's a million things that can go wrong. So you replace control with structure and you're like, okay, I know that now that we've booked this, we're going to go and it's going to be what it is. I have to let go. I have to just let go and enjoy the day. So even though I might want to have like these 15 rides at these times, 3 rides could be shut down. The kids may want to just eat Dole Whip all day. We might get
Who could
some
blame
kid
them?
might get, yeah, exactly. I mean, Dole Whip's awesome. But it's just kind of knowing how you're going to react to these situations is more important than what actually happens. So in those situations where it goes sideways, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when your child melts down that morning and goes, it's too hot out. I don't want to go to Disney today, because
You know it's happened.
it's happened to someone somewhere. So what are you going to do? Are you going to go for, take a 5-minute break? Are you going to do some deep breathing? What are you going to do to handle that moment should it come up? And when you have those ideas of looking at things and how you're going to handle it, you feel more in control of yourself with that structure, but you're not trying to control the child's reaction and the child's response because you have no control over that. You just have the control over your response. So that's step 2.
Well, I think that another thing that really helps, again, speaking from experience, is to kind of let yourself practice. Like if you're a very like structured and disciplined person and you're trying to like relax a little, like maybe your doctor was like, yo, your blood pressure's through the roof. You got to calm down. Is you got to practice like little micro moments of uncertainty. Like do something different each day. Like try out, and I'm not doing this. So I was going to say try ordering something different, but I was like, nope, not doing that.
Wow. I'm going to jump in here and help this part of this conversation.
What great advice, Kat. And as I'm saying it, I'm like, nope, nope, you guys try it, but I'm getting myself.
So, as a control person, not a freak,
Get your
what
partner
could
to
you do
order
at a
something
restaurant?
different. You can.
What could you do in that situation to oh my gosh. What could you do in that situation that will allow you to feel a little less structure?
I know. I have a micro solution.
Let's hear it.
I
Can't
can
wait for
ask
this.
Andrew if we can get an appetizer that we've never gotten before.
That's a good
But then
one.
I just get my same entree. But this is fear as somebody who's very money conscious. I don't want to get an entree and then it's bad. It's like,
Yeah,
I
it sucks
know,
when
but
you
you
order
know what?
something like that.
Yeah. So, like, if we're going to go out to eat, I'm going to get all cute and all these things, it's going to put effort in. Hey, I would compromise on a different appetizer.
That's way better.
That's
It's
so
way
big
better than
of me.
saying,
I know.
yeah, it's, no, but that's how you start. This is how you start, right? We're not,
Yeah.
these are micro uncertainties. These are not like, I'm going to, instead of the salad, I'm going to, get the weird dish that I can't pronounce and hope that it tastes good. We're not talking about changing everything at once. We're talking about microdosing uncertainty right now with ourselves. And if the appetizers, I thought you were going to say lemon in your water as a new alternative. So you leveled up. So
Oh
that's
my
good.
gosh. I am so brave, you guys. I am just outrageously risky here. But look, Andrew said the first step is awareness. So as I'm giving advice, I'm like, I have awareness that perhaps I would not do that. So I should not give that advice. But you see, we came round, we found a compromise, and it's more than lemon in the water.
Exactly. And you know what you're going to find too? You might actually really enjoy it. You might enjoy the appetizer, the entree. One of the ones that I like to do is when I'm going somewhere, I like to take a different route. And because,
Mm,
there's main ones that I take to get to everywhere. So when you go down a different road, you might discover a new place. You might discover a new thing. And that can reward your brain with taking that uncertainty, with going, oh, wow, I did this different thing and I got a positive reward, and that's really,
that's
really
true.
good versus, taking a huge step and ordering a different main at the restaurant and going, this was the dumbest thing I've ever done. I'm never, Andrew and Kat were wrong and I'm never letting go of control again.
Hey, I wish that was the dumbest thing all of us could ever do.
Fair enough.
That would be
Okay.
great if that was the case.
So far we've got identify what's yours, replace control with structure, do micro uncertainties. The last one is to regulate before you react. Look, when you are in a bad moment, when you want things to go a certain way, you need to have some ways to keep calm. We actually have a great course called Quick Calm Method. It's 7 ways to regulate and get yourself back to base when you have gotten overwhelmed, stressed, or feeling anxious. We use these 7 methods all the time. And you can find that at 5yearyou.com/calm. And you need to know how to regulate your body in these
Yeah,
moments.
that's
You
true.
need to be able to look at it and go, okay, you know, little Danny is melting down in bed before Disney World today, and we're supposed to be on the first ride in 15 minutes, and that's not happening. Rather than like start yelling or picking the kid up and like footballing him to the ride, because I've seen parents do this at Disney. It's a wide range of parenting options that you see when you go to Disney. Let me tell you,
And no judgment either
and
way.
no judgment. We are all just making it through that day.
We're just getting through it. Yeah.
Just getting through. And when we are able to know how we're going to handle this moment, that is the biggest thing. Again, You control your reaction. You don't control everybody else and what they're saying and what they're doing. So, what are you going to do? Are you going to do some breath work? Are you going to ground yourself? Are you going to go for a walk? Are you going to go splash some cold water on your face just to kind of get yourself back into a different mode? A bunch of things you can do for this, and we cover those in the course. But it's really important that you have some strategies moving forward because as you try to let go of being a control freak, you are going to be challenged. It's not an easy thing. We're practicing this all the time together and separately, and it is a challenge. So having these things that you go to regulate your system is really, really important.
I love that. I think that's really good advice. I think it's a good place for people to start. We don't want to overwhelm you with information. And I hope that anybody who maybe searched this topic or is new to us sees a little bit of yourself in this conversation. And remember, we never encourage overnight changes. These are small 1% things you can do every day. Purpose is to help you feel better, to help you feel calmer, to help you get to experience the joy of spontaneity, to help you have peace in your body, the ease of sleeping at night. That's our goal for everything that we do. And Andrew mentioned the course. We also are at 5-Year You on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. And we share tips every single day on topics like this.
Yeah. So I think it's time for our glimmers. What is your glimmer for this week?
Yeah, if you're new here, glimmers are things that are making us sparkly and happy today. We share all kinds of things, what we're up to, books, apps, Andrew's affinity for all kinds of tech toys. Who knows? I think you know what I'm going to say.
I do, but I want you to say it.
I get to see Andrew today. I
Yeah.
am so glimmery about it. I'm flying to Canada today to see you, and I am so excited to give you a hug in person today. That's my glimmer.
Well, you stole mine, so I'll come up with something else on the spot. My glimmer is the book I just finished reading. It's called The Dose Effect by TJ Power, and I would love to get into this more on the show in the coming month.
Hmm.
But it's all about kind of retraining your brain and your nervous system to feel better. It's some books I get through very, very slowly, but this one I got through in 2 days. It was just so good. It's full of practical advice, and I can't recommend it enough. So that's mine because you stole mine. So
I know that
that's
you're
it.
glimmery about me coming because I
Of
am so
course.
glimmery. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening, and please tune in again. We'd love to have you.
Thanks for stopping in. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Hey guys, quick disclaimer. We're podcasters on the internet. If you need to seek professional help, please go see your healthcare professional.